Hey there, I hope you're doing well. The idea and the concept of God is so distorted and convoluted here. And it's a very touchy subject that is honestly the root of most people's limits and most people's belief systems. When you start to butt up against their belief about God, that's where things start to freeze for them. They start to block you and them themselves because of the distortion in the belief of God. See, God is the energy, the entity where everything stems from. It literally looks like, from when I viewed it, it looked like a blob of energy. It looked like it looked like a big gray blob. Now, did it take on a form so that I could identify with it? Yeah, and it was cool. It was like this little kid on a big fat dragon that was just happy as could be. It was amazing. And does it speak clearly? Does it speak? No, not really. You just know. It just is. So that energy is what created all of the universe. And from it itself, it said, you know what? I'm by myself. I'm just an entity here. I'm bored. I want to see what's out in the void. This is the void. What we are experiencing here is the void. Every single experience that you have goes into the records, is recorded, and it becomes part of the void, part of the web, part of the matrix, part whatever term you want to give it. But God created the two entities. I've gone through this many times. I'll go through it real quickly. Pulled from itself a part of itself and then split consciousness. This was the first split in consciousness. This is where you get the twin flames. There are only two twin flames. There's a God the Mother and a God the Father. They're an identity. They're a perspective. Okay? They're not the true God. They're an extension of God. See that? Your hands are an extension of you. But they are not God. God itself. If you want to take on the experience of God and just be God, then you have to take in all of that back into God. And when you get there, you're like, oh, okay, it's just me. And then you look in a mirror and you're like, oh, it's just me. There is no other. And then you think, okay, well, if it's just me, then I'm bored. Do you like playing by yourself all the time? In your imagination? No, that's why you have this. This is why you created all of this. This is why all of this was created, to get rid of the boredom. But then when you come out of God, it's fragmented then. And the further you get away from God, the more fragmented it is, which is where we are at in the material plane. It's super fragmented. The seeds of God are in every single being. Some beings have chosen to, completely cut themselves off from God energetically because they're advanced beings and they don't want nothing to do with God. That's on them. But that is the problem, to be honest with you, is that when you come here, especially those of us that are more from the light side, we come here to help. We want to do our best. We want to do something to raise the vibration, to help humanity, to make this a better place to live. But once you hit the dome, once you hit the bubble, before you get into this simulation, you are immediately on the radar here. You are pinged, is what I call it. And those that run this or used to run this simulation, they purposely go after your connection to God, to source, and they siphon it. So you have your silver cord that runs through your body, and it encompasses your chakras. Then you're rooted into the material plane. But your connection through your root or your crown chakra goes back up into source. Immediately when you come in, you are attacked up here. You are attacked. They cut it open. They cut open your silver cord and they put a filter in there, and then they start siphoning that energy. That's why you've lost your connection to God. Maybe you've lost your ability to see. You've lost your psychic senses. That's why. Is because of that. So there's that. So that's what happens. And then the next thing that these energies do once you get here is once they've gotten into your energy, so now they're in your energy. Now they have entered into your space, and now they're going to come down into your crown. And then what are they going to do? They're going to get into your memories. They're going to control your mind. That's step one. Then they're going to control your emotion. That's step two. Then finally, they're going to control you completely 100% as a being here in the material plane, which is rooted into the material realm, which is the I am, which is your identity, which is also your ego. See, people fight the ego because they think it's this negative entity of themselves. But the truth is it's not a negative entity of yourself. It's a negative entity that's attached to you as a leech to make you believe that it's you. And then you start fighting you. Here in the material plane, you start fighting everything outside of you. You start walling up. You start putting up all these shields because you're constantly hurt then. Because you believe that life is hard, that people hurt you. And it's true. That's what these energies do. They attack your identity, your ego, and make you believe all these negative things. And getting out of this is the tough part. This is my second go round with getting rid of this energy and going all the way back to God and remembering the truth of who I am. But I had to, it's like when these twin flames came together, or where you came together, your empath, your narcissist, you intertwine your energies. When you intertwine your energy with an empath and a narcissist is typically the negative, more about themselves. They're, in most cases, at least in mine, they're a hollow shell. There's nothing there. They have chosen to cut themselves off from God, and that they don't want anything to do with God. They want to be your God. There's a difference. There's a difference in that mentality. When someone comes here and they want to overtake you and be your God, that actually is a violation of universal law, which, whatever. Point is that this has to be undone, this victim predator. And you have to understand that you're a sovereign being here in the material plane. And this energy doesn't have the right to attack you, to take over your energy, to siphon from you. You have free will. It's not their will. And that's what I realized with this energy, which was my twin flame, by the way. What I realized with this energy is that it started putting a bunch of programs into me. One of them was that I belong to him, that I can't have anybody else, that I don't get free will, that I have to be with him no matter what because we were ordained by God. This is a really fucked up scenario because this individual is extremely toxic. He didn't want to join with me in love to create something beautiful. He wanted to overtake all of me so that he could be God, not just for me, but over everything else and everyone else. That doesn't work for me. That is not a good scenario. Those are not good energies. And if you're in that dynamic, it's time for you to step out of it. It's time for you to understand that you have free will, that this energy only has power over you if you let it. See, that was the problem. I let this energy in because I cared about it, because I wanted to help it. I wanted him to wake up and get out of his dysfunction and his illusion and this idea that I'm a slave to him, that I'm his property. But that's not my job. It's not my responsibility to help someone else, especially when they're not willing to help themselves. My job, my responsibility, your job, your responsibility is to you. Is to you letting this energy go, clearing it out of your energy field. You have to rebuild your ego, your identity. You have to rebuild. I'm sorry, it sucks that we have to go through all of this, but here's the thing. We let it in. We let it in because we didn't practice discernment and we didn't see this energy for what it truly was and its intentions. And instead, we let it into our energy field thinking that it had our best interest when in reality, it did not. And so once you pull away from it, it's not going to like that. Who doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about you. You rebuild your ego into I am a child of God and I have free will. And I am love. And I am pure divine love. And once you start rebuilding your ego, which is rooted here in the material plane, then you start going up the spiral. You start going up the staircase, back up into God. But as you go up further, this energy is going to want to hold on to you. It is like a leech and it hurts. It is so hard to get rid of this energy because it doesn't want to let you go. Why? Because without you, it dies. It doesn't exist. It's going to get sick. It's going to go cuckoo. It's going to have all kinds of problems because it relied on you to support it physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it took over every aspect of you in order to do that. And then when it doesn't get it from you, it'll get it from others. So as you go up, you're reclaiming yourself. You're reclaiming your sovereign physical being, your I am. You're reclaiming your emotional being. And you're reclaiming your mental. Then you're going to reclaim your God self. And that's where things get really messy, at least for me, because the intertwining and the vow to God that God, you made this person for me. This is my person. This was my twin flame. This was my soul mate. I don't care what level you look at it. This was my person. What the fuck happened? But you know what? I realized I have the right to choose what's right for me. Material plane has already been created. There's no need for this energy anymore. We created everything. Good. Congratulations. Now I get to choose what's best for me. I get to think for myself, feel for myself, do for myself. And my connection to Source, my connection to God is mine. It is not yours. And you have no right to be in my energy field, in my space, at any level. You violated universal law. Therefore, you will be held responsible for what you have done. And all of the other things that you did to me, to siphon from me, you did with intentions. You purposely did this stuff. See, when I said that the people that hurt you were the ones that loved you the most, that was for a certain group of people that were here to help you. This individual was not here to help me. He was not at my table. He wasn't anywhere at my table. He was not here to help me. He was here to take from me. There are people that have good intentions. You have to figure this out, and this is discernment. And there are people that have ill intentions. That's just the truth. So you have to be able to recognize which is which, and then decide, because you have free will choice. Decide which route do you want to go, the negative or the positive. Those are your choices. So once you go back up and you reconnect with God and you remember the oneness, you are a part of the one. You have to come back out into this reality and fragment again and understand that you are also an ego. You're also an individual. You must, if you want to gain mastery, you must be able to hold both of those perspectives. You must honor life and mortality, and you must honor the infinite and immortality, because both perspectives exist, and they will always exist. Otherwise, this will be wiped clean and there will be nothing. Then what? Then you go back to God. Okay, great. Then guess what? You're going to come right back out of God. You may not come in this form. You may come in a different form, but you're going to come right back out of God, and you're going to fragment and you're going to do it again. So learn the lesson now. Finish the job now. Do what you came to do here now. Now is the time. You are like a drop of water in the ocean. You're part of the ocean. That's God. That's the energy. You're part of that, but you're still your own drop. You need to honor that too. You need to honor your ego, yours, not this other ego, this other negative stuff. That's not yours. You need to honor yours and rebuild it in love, self-love, 100% self-love, meaning you would date yourself, you would provide for yourself, you would give to yourself. Anything that you think that you need to give outside of yourself, you need to give to yourself first. That is not being self-righteous or whatever negative label that they've given that. That is not true. That's what keeps you trapped. Get out of it. And once you connect back up into source and you start really living from that energy, from that perspective of I am both mortal and immortal. I am both human and God. You literally will control everything in your reality. And you'll do it from a place of love and a place of self-knowing. From self, it will come from you. Not outside of you, not trying to control others, not usurping their free will. That will get you in trouble. That is going to have some major consequences for a lot of people. Don't do that. Do it from here, from the knowing that, yes, I am God. Yes, God is within me. And yes, I love myself. And I will only allow energies in my reality that hold that same perspective. Period. End of story. I am not willing to lower myself in any way, in any shape or fashion. Why would I? That would be just me betraying myself or dissing myself. I'm not going to do that. I am too valuable. Are you? So if you're not, get there. Let me know if you need anything. And know that